Yes, hi everyone. This is Bamidele Smiler. I'm working on this project. Um, I'm the only one in my team. So, the topic of my undertaking is sentiment analysis using Twitter feeds. So basically, I'm working on modeling depressions and depressive tendencies from the social media posts of individuals. According to the United Kingdom Guardian newspaper, depressed people don't all shuffle around with a long face or cry at any provocation. So, suffice to say that depressed people are all around us. Depressed people are our friends. Depressed people are our relatives, or our associates, or people we come across on a daily basis. Your Uber driver, the person that attends to you at Kroger, the person that smiles at you at that posh office. So people have different things bothering them. Ranging from personal issues, family problems, and the rest of them like that. Also, mentalhealth.gov, the US government website, defines depression as losing interest in important parts of life. So people who are depressed definitely lose interest in things that are important in life. They become disconnected from, life expectations. They lose hope at everything. So their confidence is low. Their sense of belonging is diminished, as well as their self-esteem. So this project is going to use social media platforms as a basement to observe the activities, thoughts, feelings of people on a daily basis, including people that are suffering from mental disorders, people who have shown signs of depressions, people who have shown signs of anxiety as a build up to depression, or people who already have depressive disorders. So that's what this topic is all about. So a very important quote from here says, apparently rock bottom has a basement. So, whatever the situation is, there's always a precedent. Whatever the situation is, there's always a starting point. So before it gets out of hand, if it can be, monitored, if it can be curbed at the early stage, we could be saving lives. So now, how do we go about this project? How do I go about this project? I'm going to be doing data gathering. I'm going to be using ToothPie, Cloud dataset, and any other relevant data set that's available on Kaggle. It's like an open source platform where you can get data sets for projects, for research, for business. These are individuals who have worked on these things before now, and decided to put it in public domain for people to access them for good measures. My target audience are users with profile sentences and posts indicating depressions, and that's what have been retrieved. Their Twitter timelines are also collected, retweets and reposts of individuals who either support what they have posted or who are also showing, sympathy to their cause and the rest. So that way you can, draw up, a common, characteristics, or see a bond between these people. Specifically, users that have having the timeline of at least 10 tweets. So with that 10 tweets, that's to show consistency. That's to show that it's not just a fluke. It's not just something. It's not just one out. Just something out of the blues. But 10 tweets showing signs of anxiety, of depressive disorder, of low self-esteem, of deflated, ego. Then that's to show that this person must be suffering from depression, or must be, involved in something that's building up to depression. So, like I mentioned earlier, we're using TweetPie. So, TweetPie is Twitter API that allows you to stream live data from Twitter, and then you also use Twitter API, to create, Twitter an account for this purpose, so you can stream live data. So that's an enhancement that Twitter has, put in place, and it works perfectly well with Python. Feature engineering and vector transformation. So this is an important part of machine learning where we have to, get our data sets that we've extracted, convert to data frames so we can, analyze, summarize these little data sets, because it's tweets from so many people, so obviously it is not labeled data. So extracting the knowledge and information from this data, we need to kind of go make them go through feature engineering, which is like making a raw gold to go through a furnace, so it can be it can glitter, and then its beauty can come out. Fourthly, I'm going to analyze these tweets using certain keywords. With the help of pandas and Python, I've decided to use pandas because pandas has you know a better coverage in terms of what it can handle than Spark, and so far it's been fun with pandas for me. So in two steps, the study is developed in two steps. In the first step, the selection of users and compilation of tweets have been performed. I'm looking at three data sets of tools that were created. Depressive user data set made of timeline of 90 users for, as a minimum, who explicitly mentioned that they suffer from depression or use words that are close synonyms that are close to depression. So a depressive tweet data set, manual selection of tweets from previous users, which includes always shows signs of depression as well, and control data set is also part of what I'm using for this analysis. So I'm also looking at sentiment analysis by region, so by countries of the world, looking at the United States of America, looking at United Kingdom, looking at some countries in North America, and the rest of them like that. So this process is on unsupervised learning because involves application of clustering, in data streaming. So eventually, this is what part of the outcome of my analysis. Produce maps of depressive people, or in certain regions of the world with color coding, and this is a template of the text data that I've been able to extract with TweetPy and Twitter API. And this is the sentiment analysis that also create sentiment data sets with 0 for people who don't show signs of depression, 1 for people who show signs of depression. So this is just a holistic overview of what the output will be like by the time you do it live streaming, or by the time you do a real analytics of this data gathered from Twitter, specifically posts of people who are found to be showing signs of depression, or who are found to be sympathetic toward the cause of depression. So this project is, for me, is a sensitive one. It's an interesting one, and because of the fact that it has got to do with people's, life and death, it's something that should be encouraged. It's something that should be improved on. It's something that should encourage, also witness collaborations between, the people in academia, and the people in medicine, and people who are also in psychology counseling, because because these are real time posts of people who are either suffering from one disease or the other, or one disorder, or people who have actually been battered emotionally, people who have been psychologically traumatized. So telemedicine, a form of distant, diagnosis and treatment of illness, is what can be leveraged here, using big data, so posts from social media, medical personnel can have access to these things, and, try as much as possible to provide, long distance, counseling to people who are showing these signs, or also medications and the rest. So access to real-time data from other social media platforms, just like what Twitter has done with TweetPy and the Twitter API. Other social media, platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, should also encourage stuff like this. So coding enhancements and larger scope. Because of the scope of this project, I also wish to see that this can be enhanced for future, purpose, and the scope could be larger to cover data set probably from all over the world. So thank you. That'll be all for now. Thanks for listening.